I am back with some more Clovis content. Always dropping stuff as per usual. And so, I want to make a little vertical or horizontal punch. This is a piece of white-tail antler that I just cut on the with a little hacksaw and roughly rasped up the end there. But I want to make it a little bit better, so I still have some work to do on that. But I want to make it like a horizontal punch in my leg like that for some Clovis work and probably other stuff too. But this was the other end of it because it was a longer piece. I rasped down a bit, but it was kind of like that. And I wanted to make this kind of short, so I cut this off. And I was thinking, actually it was kind of like when I was half asleep, half awake the other night. I thought, I can flute with the side of this if I put a little notch in this. I'm sure other people have done this before, but to me this was an original thought. But you see, I put a little notch on that. Trying to get the camera to focus on that. Put a little notch and I flattened out the top here for the most part. And it's a little bit curved. I used the excavate side to put the notch in so that I can try, and you're gonna experience this with me, because I'm gonna see if it's possible to flute stuff like this as well. So we're gonna try it. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but it's worth a shot, and it's always fun to experiment. Actually, let me put this over this here. It's good enough. I don't really have any hard support underneath this. It's just a lot of pad and towel. But also, this was just a ugly, really curved flake, and I just did a bunch of hammerstone, really fast work on it, and I accidentally dropped it, and a piece broke off the ear here. So that if the flute runs a little bit shallow and goes to about there, it might be due to the fact that I dropped it and broke a flake off of the ear there. But anyway, it's a really quickly expediently made one, and I also ground off a little bit of it on the concrete because I wanted it to not be as bulky as it was. Okay, so I'm gonna try and figure this out. The goal is to put it on the platform down in here. Let me see if I can get like this. That looks better. Okay. So the goal is to put this notch right there, and I'm hoping for this. See, it looks like it's bending a little bit, which is not good. It may have been a better idea to actually use this side, like a neutral side. Or I'll just put a little bit of leather underneath the, or an antler tine maybe, which will also help it release quicker. Because we want it to kind of roll off. Because if there's too much friction, then the flake isn't going to release because it won't be able to grab that hard. That's tough. Okay, that actually feels... Should have planned a little bit more for this because I don't have any other small pieces of leather that I can put underneath that. You know, that actually feels good. And this putting the antler right there will help me to release it. Okay, it's holding there. Ready? Oh, wow. Okay. You know, that seems like another tactic. Let's see if the flute came out, or the notch. There's no damage to the notch. Very portable, light, small tool. Great flake too. Pretty wide because the contours and everything weren't that great, but hey, it's another method, one of the other many. And I'm not sure if anyone's ever done this before, but I'm sure someone has. There's a lot of clever guys out there. But this was something that I thought about in my sleep. Well, kind of. I woke up like in the middle of the night and I was like, that sounds like a good idea. So yeah, I mean, it's possible. I think it helped to have that antler on antler right in my leg here, because it allowed it to really just slip out of there. And I just struck it with this piece of elk, this is a bopper that I got from some guy who wanted to flint nap. I haven't really worked with it that much, but it's kind of flat and it's got that look like that. I might give it away to someone who wants it. But yeah, that worked. That was really good. I'll have to try it on a new a different biface. So maybe I will make a better biface and see if I can make an actual legit Clovis and not a flake tool. Cool. Someone's shooting a gun. I decided I would turn this edge over and work this piece and see if I can just take another flake off of this side, because the contours are all screwed up. You can see there. But why not try and flute it? So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot. I also just did all that pressure flaking with the edge, with the end of the tool that I just used, the little punch tool. Where'd it go? Oh, it was on my lap and I dropped it. I just heard a bunch of rounds go off, and it was definitely a gun and not fireworks, so I hope that's nothing serious going on. But I'm gonna see if I can also use the crappy end of this squirrel chewed, kind of messed up, to actually make this next fluting platform. Oh shit. This is a really expedient fluting platform because I'm just testing things out. Just grinding the very edge of the platform. Okay, and maybe I could even use the piece that I cut off as the friction block piece. Although it has to be really, I might want to flatten out this side over here, because if you look at it, there's a little bit of a rise here. It's not as flat. So if it were flat, it would probably sit right in there really nicely. Because it was kind of hard. If you saw me do it the last time, it was pretty hard to get it on there. It would definitely be easier to do this with either someone helping me, or if I had some sort of other piece of antler that would just sit better. Because see how it's a little bit squirrely, wobbles around a bit. The way I want it to sit in there is like that. Okay. Oh, it's moving around. I gotta grab my tool here. I'm not sure if this method is dangerous, but I don't see any danger so far. Okay. This one's gonna be a little bit harder to strike. Wow, it fluted the other side perfectly too. Even that crappy contour side. There's the first side flute, second side. I'm definitely gonna have to try this on an actual biface. So this is yet another fluting technique that I'm experimenting with, or just trying out, because I'm not sure if it's better than the way that I'm currently doing it, and a lot of other abo nappers have been doing it for a long time. But I think it's probably a pretty plausible way. I know Mike, I think his name's Mike Dothager, does a lot of punch work and stuff like that, so I'm sure he's probably done something like that. But anyway, look at this little Clovis base. Yeah, so we'll have to try it on an actual biface.